and share my screen. Carol, can you see the screen?
I sure can.
Awesome. So I'm just going to move this over so then we can see everything. Perfect. Okay, guys, I'm so excited to prepare this with Carol today. It's all about romance and oils, and there's some fun DIYs as well. Oh, there's someone else who joined us. Hello. Chat into who you are, and I'm just going to mute you for the recording, okay? If you do have questions, just chat in as we go along. Say hello. Oh no.
Is the iPhone maybe Lindsay?
Maybe.
Hello, whoever you are, and welcome.
Yes. So we're just going to go over the agenda of what we're going to chat about today. Totally the health benefits of intimacy, because it's really important. It's not really talked about, and it's kind of like in our society, everyone knows about it. It's kind of taboo unless you have a really open friend circle. No one really, it's like private. So we're going to talk about health benefits and why you can utilize essential oils with intimacy. Foundational health, super important, especially dealing with your hormones and your endocrine system, very important. Specifically, we're going to touch on women and men's sexual health, top oils, and of course the ooey gooey recipes. So I wanted to make this kind of fun and carefree, so there's going to be a lot of fun memes in this. You'll get my humor in it, unfortunately, which is very nerdy, because I want to make this a super relaxed and chill and fun place to talk about this. I know this can be intimidating to a lot of people, so I wanted it to be fun. I hope you're going to be laughing along with me. So health benefits of intimacy. It lowers stress. It's lowering blood pressure, so it's amazing for our heart health. It boosts immunity. It burns calories while having fun, right? Improves heart health, which I mentioned with blood pressure. Increases self-esteem, improves sleep, and strengthens your connection with your partner. So, iPhone, hey Sherry, thanks for joining. And chat in if you have any questions. So I love this meme. It's totally, I had way too much fun making this webinar. So love is in the air, wrong. Nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide are in the air. But it's all about setting the mood, right? And obviously if you watch The Big Bang Theory, he's so logical and scientific. So that's why I loved it. So essential oils and intimacy, why you want to use essential oils. Essential oils are totally natural. They're super effective. One drop goes a long way, and they do amazing things to our body. So there's specific essential oils that can help balance hormones, that can boost your libido, that lifts the mood, that support and increase circulation. So circulation's big for our body. If you're not getting proper circulation, you're not getting blood to certain areas that we need to perform adequately, especially in men. They help reduce anxiety, they help with relaxation, they create sensual massage blends, hello, fun time, right? And they increase sexual stamina, super important. So, hey girl, I heard patchouli can be used to set the mood. I don't know about you guys, I love Ryan Gosling. Anyone else?
He's pretty damn fine.
Right? So just some funness as we go along and chat. And Carol, I'm going to get you to take this away here.
So we always talk about lifelong vitality, and we always talk about how it's the foundation to your overall well-being and your health. So LLV is always going to be the number one thing we talk about when we talk about any sort of thing, especially when it comes to your endocrine system and balancing out those hormones. Supports all body systems. So when you take your complete system of LLV, you're really helping your overall health. You're helping every little system in your body. And since we're talking today about sexual well-being, definitely it's a big vital part in our endocrine system. So you want to start taking that LLV to help everything at the very base of where the issues start. The alpha CRS is the cellular longevity blend and cellular energy blend. So helping with healthy cell function, metabolism, immune and inflammatory responses. Totally important to start there to help our whole body heal itself and to move forward healthy. The XE omega is the essential fatty acids with, of course, CPTG essential oils, focusing on our cardio and immune systems, our nervous systems, our joints, and giving you that healthy, sexy glow. The Microplex VMZ is the essential vitamins and essential minerals. So definitely very useful for the healthy cellular life cycles. We all know that we need to have healthy body systems on a cellular level for everything to function properly as it goes forward and moves through our body systems. So definitely really great for bone health and healthy immune responses. So when you're thinking about beginning, your sexual adventures, it's always good to think about too the base of the problems. And if there's no problems, then you want to make sure that you keep it that way and start on your lifelong vitality. Absolutely essential for foundational health.
Great. Thanks, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
If you have questions about the lifelong vitality, we can of course answer those later. There's a wealth of knowledge online and lots of resources of how amazing these supplements are. I was a big non-believer in them and they completely transformed my health. So
they were amazing for me, and I was the same. I'm like, no, I love my oils, and then when I started using them, I won't go without them, and neither will my husband, and thank goodness for that, because, well, plays well in the bedroom for both of us.
Perfect. Awesome. So women's hormones. Okay, guys, if you're not super sciencey, our main dominant hormones is estrogen and progesterone. They are kind of finicky. They can be easily whacked out. And during our cycle, there's different peaks and lows of each. I won't go too much into it, but they can be easily altered, and it's something that we need. We also have a little bit of testosterone in our body too, but predominantly estrogen and progesterone have to work in a beautiful harmony together. So some of the symptoms of hormone imbalance in women is if you have really big mood issues. So if you're feeling really low, if you're having anxious feelings, if you're feeling kind of irritable, PMSing, all that fun stuff. You can have digestive problems, excessive sweating. So a lot of people who are going through perimenopause will have excessive sweating, food cravings, all the sugar, all the carbs, fatigue, which for me was my big indicator that my hormones were out of whack, just overall fatigue every day. Loss of muscle mass, so you're not like gaining muscle anymore if you're working out, you're putting on weight, and of course low libido. So I just wanted to mention that healthy lifestyle habits can help create healthy hormone balance. It's not just, the oils are not going to just cure all. They're part of the toolkit. You need proper nutrition. Exercise is super important, especially releasing those happy hormones like dopamine. And detoxifying our bodies every day can help shed the excess out of our body so our bodies can function better. There's so much excessive outside exposure to lots of gnarly stuff. So we're constantly being bombarded with radiation from our cell phones, our computers, our Wi-Fi, pollution outside, the stuff in our food and our water. So our bodies are being bombarded with toxins every day. So it's super important to treat our bodies properly and lightly detox. When I say detox, I don't mean go and do a crazy cleanse for months on end. Just doing little steps every day in our diet can be super important. So I just wanted to highlight, if you're curious, we're not going to dive totally into a lot of these. Some of these we will, but this is specifically to support your female hormones. So of course, the foundational health, lifelong vitality, the phytoestrogen complex, I love. I take one of those every single night. Clary Calm is a roller ball. Clary Sage is a single oil. Clove, basil, lemongrass, cinnamon, fennel, and geranium. So those are very supportive to women's hormones. Men's sexual health, because they're important too. I find, what was interesting when I was doing research for this is the amount of studies that have been done on men's health is like quadruple compared to women's health. I think that's because there's a predominance of males in the scientific field and research, and doctors are mostly males. So there's actually been thousands of studies done on male impotence, but female issues such as like pain during intercourse or just abnormal symptoms during intercourse, there's been very few studies. So the male sexual health has actually been really well researched while women's haven't. I found that fascinating and totally not cool. But anyways, fun fact.
We can change that over time.
Exactly. So men's sexual health depends totally on testosterone. That's their predominantly hormones. They have a little bit of estrogen and progesterone in their bodies, but not a lot. But if that is low, that can totally impact sex drive. As well, for them to perform adequately, their brain, their nervous system, and the blood supply have to be adequate to, their regions to actually adequately perform. Super important. So it's kind of an overall well-being for their bodies, and it has a lot to do with their circulatory system. So there's multiple issues that can actually impact men's health. Specifically, diabetes can play a role, peripheral vascular disease, so that's just like circulation problems in their outer regions. I want to say proximal, but that's very distal, that's very medical of me. I'll try not to bring too much medical lingo in. Smoking plays a big role as well, and certain medications, and of course prostate cancer. So those are just to be mindful of, that if any of those are predisposing factors, you kind of have to do extra for your body to support that. So the Giddy Up blend is very much for boosting that male testosterone. Here's the beautiful recipe. So 2 drops basil, 1 drop clary sage, 1 drop ylang ylang, 1 drop clove, 1 drop patchouli, and 1 ounce of fractionated coconut oil. So it's great to use as a massage oil, and we're going to talk about reflex zones a little bit later, but massage into the big toe and around the ankles, and we'll touch on that, why those 2 areas are important. Plus, if they don't like the smell, it's down at their feet and they can put some socks on. So that's awesome. I learned something interesting about our supplement Mito2 Max. So this is like the energy booster. This basically goes into the mitochondria of our cell, which is the powerhouse of the cell, and gives us stamina, it gives us energy, it helps with our immune function. It actually can help sperm count. And of course, it can help naturally increase libido in both men and women. So this is a great supplement if you if your partner isn't a fan of the oils, or maybe some men are difficult. So take a supplement. If they don't like pills, then use some oils.
2 options to help the men out.
Agreed.
I think men like options. So do ladies, but definitely men do.
Agreed. So I'm going to get you to highlight some oils, Carol.
Excellent. I love talking about these oils and how they help to benefit our bodies and our sexual selves, because I don't think we talk about it often. Like Elisa kind of said when we first started this, was it's not something that a lot of people are open with unless you have a really good friend or sister, someone that you really trust. And so we are thankful that you're here today, trusting us and feeling open with us to have us talk about this sensitive stuff with you. But it doesn't have to be so sensitive, because it can be fun as well. So we're going to talk about some of the top oils that we definitely recommend for Valentine's Day and for all those times when you want to be intimate and close with your partner. The top oil, number 1 top oil, is ylang ylang. So all of the oils that we'll talk about here all help to support a healthy libido when your libido is low. Ylang ylang definitely helps to support your endocrine system, which is, of course, your hormonal support. So that is a great oil to turn to. Helps to decrease blood pressure, which sometimes when that blood pressure is going, you have those anxious feelings that come along with elevated blood pressure. It can be hard to get intimate with your partner. Helps with the feelings of anxiety, of course, as we just kind of said, with slowing down the blood pressure and bringing everything kind of back to the center. It helps with anxiety, frustration, and stress. Ylang ylang is amazing at influencing sexual energy, and it can enhance intimacy, which is super important and special, not only just during Valentine's Day, but of course any time of the year. All times of the year you want to be close with your partner, bringing that intimacy together just helps to flourish the whole relationship. So ylang ylang can take you from feeling like burdened, kind of like, oh yeah, I got to get with that partner. I haven't been with them in a while, or her, and to exuberant. So it really does help to influence that feeling of exuberance and passion towards your partner. The next one we'll talk about is jasmine. So jasmine came out here with the doTERRA Touch, which is a wonderful little handy thing to have, because of course diluting our oils, we know, doesn't decrease the effectiveness of the oil, but rather helps it to go over a longer period of time. So jasmine helps to increase your mood. It helps to make you feel happy and comfortable in your own skin, which is a wonderful thing. It's a very euphoric oil. So I find that my husband really responds to jasmine. If I put a little bit even on my hair, he's just kind of like, oh, you smell nice. Oh, hey, let's snuggle. It supports PMS issues. So we all get those times, maybe not every single cycle, but there are those times when all of those PMS issues are coming up and you just feel bogged down by them. Turn to your jasmine to help with that as well. It's a great oil to help promote uterine and ovulation health. So myself, I've had a lot of ovulation issues over my life, and this is a wonderful oil that I'm kind of turning to for that, in hopes that not only will it increase my my wonderful euphoric feelings with my partner, but maybe it'll help with some baby making along the way too. Jasmine arouses dominant passions. So it has that wonderful ability to sort of nurture your healthy sexuality. It takes you from feeling kind of hampered to liberated, liberated and ready to go. So it's a wonderful oil to experiment with and to bring into your intimate routine. The next oil we'll talk about is neroli. Again, neroli came out with jasmine this past September during convention. Neroli is an absolutely amazing oil to help with your sexual stamina, with your sexuality, I'm sorry. Neroli as well, it increases mood. It's very euphoric as well. It's an amazing oil to use when you have decreased sexual arousal, specifically with gentlemen with circulation issues when it comes to ED. It helps to boost that circulation, which Elise was talking about. It plays an important, impactful role in gentlemen's sexual health. So neroli is also a really great oil to go to when you have chronic stress, when you're dealing with that constant nagging feeling in your body. Neroli is really helpful in that. So it's a great oil to support your heart and healthy blood pressure, which again helps to decrease those feelings of anxiety and stress and just overall anxiousness. It is a wonderful stabilizing oil, and it assists with the evolution of your sexual intimacy. So it kind of takes you from feeling afflicted, like, oh, I've got so much on my plate, to feeling liberated as well. It's a great oil to turn to that way. And it smells fabulous. I mean, all of them do, but neroli is one of my favorites.
So I find too, what's very interesting is the first two are very floral oils, and this one, neroli, is of the bitter orange, right? So I find it's amazing that it works really well for the circulatory system of the males, because this is something that probably would appeal to them more than, let's say, something very floral and feminine. So this is almost like a more masculine type of oil.
It's very true. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
So the next oil we'll move on to is Whisper. And so kind of on another spectrum, neroli being a little bit more pleasing to the men, I do find that Whisper is known as the women's blend, but it helps to balance hormones for both men and women. And as much as it has that, I don't know if you guys all have it, but if you do, it smells individual for the individual. So what I smell compared to what Elise smells compared to what my husband Mark smells is all different. So Whisper is an amazing oil to bring in to help your sexual health, because whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to find yourself sort of drawn to Whisper. I know my husband loves this one as well. And when I say what I smell out of it, he's like, that doesn't smell like that at all. And I'm like, well, I'm glad that you don't think so, because what I smell, he doesn't really like, but what he smells totally different, and it is pleasing to him. So Whisper helps to balance hormones in both male and female bodies, helps to support a healthy libido, influences creativity, and helps to improve confidence, which I don't know about you guys, but there are times, I've been with my husband for 21 years, still doesn't matter. There are times when my confidence is just, I don't feel that hot, right? Whisper can help me with that, and it can help you with that too. Supports PMS issues as well. So a great oil to have not only during the times where you want to be intimate with your partner, but definitely during the times when you're feeling, you're going through your own body and your own hormonal things that happen every single month. Helps to promote calm in situations when when anger is being aroused. So it's an absolutely great oil to turn to during those awful feelings of overwhelm and frustration and feelings that are really hard to get through. It is known as the oil of femininity, and it's actually kind of funny to me that I find that even though it's the oil of femininity, I think that's part of the reason my partner is drawn to it, because he does like a very feminine type partner. So I think when he smells it, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's my lady. So it's a wonderful oil to turn to. I think it's a great one to have for everybody. Plus, if you wear it, it's your own special signature smell. What it smells like on you smells different than what it smells like on me. There's so many great oils in there that we've kind of been talking about. There's ylang ylang, patchouli, vanilla bean. We got jasmine in there, cinnamon, which of course helps to increase circulation. We got, I always say this right, or wrong, sorry, labdanum, Laudum, Elise.
You did good.
Yay! Vetiver, sandalwood, cocoa, and rose. So it's got a lot of those wonderful oils in there, which makes it a beautiful blend to turn to. One of the last main oils, one of the top oils we have left is Passion. So Passion is the inspiring blend. It is absolutely heavenly. Helps to increase your energy. Also promotes healthy circulation. Really great oil as well for PMS issues. It is amazing for nurturing natural desire to embrace and embark on new adventures. Like, I never thought that this oil could really help me get through things that make me feel kind of scared and things that I don't really want to go for, but that I really love doing. There's a little wall sometimes. Passion will help you break down that wall. It helps us to rediscover our inner passions. Really, the name that they gave it at doTERRA is an amazing name for this blend. Also helps to stimulate blood flow, which is a wonderful thing for those gentlemen. Again, there's all the oils we've been talking about in here, and a couple others we haven't really gone into, which would sandalwood and jasmine. There's cardamom and cinnamon, ginger and clove, which are all useful oils in helping to promote a healthy circulatory system. So if you have Passion Inspiring Blend in your little cabinet there, turn to it. It's a great place to use the oils, or a great place to have the oils. A great oil to use. Wow, my voice is just not working here. So a couple places to apply these oils, as Elise was saying. Elise, is that coming up next, I think?
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So there's a lot of other oils. If you don't happen to have those oils on hand, you have black pepper, which is amazing for circulation, supporting honesty, which is super important in intimate relationships. Of course, libido as well. We have cinnamon, which I kind of touched on, which is warming and stimulating and really promotes a healthy circulatory system. So it's wonderful to get things kind of moving, no pun intended, well, maybe a little. Clary sage supports the endocrine system. So as Elise had brought up first thing about how we can support our hormones, which are essentially from our endocrine system, clary sage is wonderful for that. Enhancing libido is a wonderful thing that we all can use at times, and testosterone. So clary sage is also really helpful for the male hormones. Patchouli, an absolute beautiful oil, helps support circulation as well, increasing that body temperature, helps setting the mood. It's a really wonderful oil. I mean, I now understand why they call it the hippie oil from back in the time where it was peace, love, and everything open. It's a great oil to have on hand for many uses, and I do turn to it as well when I'm looking to kind of increase my intimacy with my partner. Sandalwood is one of my husband's favorites. Definitely supports testosterone levels, which isn't surprising to me that he's drawn to it. And I just love the smell of it on him. So probably helps me. You know, it's amazing how what's helping one person in the relationship often helps the other as well unknowingly. Supporting libido. Bergamot was surprising to me to learn that it also enhances libido. And I think, again, it comes from the smell of the bittery orange, right? Like the neroli. So it's super helpful in the sense that maybe a man would be more drawn to it as compared to the florally oils that sometimes we women are sort of drawn to. Supporting those hormones is always the number one thing that we need to consider when we're considering intimacy with our partner. So it's nice to have another option too. So if you don't have some of the top oils we talked about, if you have some of these are great options as well.
As well, like what I find, go what you're naturally attracted to. So if there's an oil, like ylang ylang and I don't really get along very well. I'm trying to warm up to it. I kind of coat it with other oils to use it. And some people love ylang ylang.
Mm-hmm.
So go naturally what you're drawn to and use those first. If those aren't providing the support that you need, then start kind of like going and looking at other oils to help. There's so many options. So it's like you need to be really in tune to what's working for you and what your body's attracted to as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you like one oil over another, you go for it. If you love geranium, then use your geranium. Whatever your body is asking you for is what you go to it. And compared to what you have in your cabinet too, you use what you have.
Yeah, agreed. So these are just very specific libido boosting oils in the categories of what supports males and what supports females. So what's really cool, what I found amazing, was that clary sage and ylang ylang support both. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm like, well, that's the biggest bang for my buck. If I buy either of those oils, they can support both of us. But of course, if those are very, very floral, your partner may not be a fan of those. So of course, there's other options too. And the same, if you're not a big fan of either of those, there's other options for you to use as well. And as we had just mentioned, I was jumping ahead, experiment with what works best for you. So, yeah. Now, on to the recipe.
Do you do it yourself?
Mr. Bean.
Oh, thank you, Rowan Atkinson.
Okay, so if you guys want to take pictures of this, I'm going to post this webinar anyways in our group, but setting the mood. So some great diffuser recipes to use. And if you notice, a lot of these recipes use a little of those libido enhancing oils. So some beautiful recipes to play around with. I kind of did one that was more like had some feminine florals in, and then one that was a little bit more masculine and spicy. So you kind of have two options depending on what your mood is. Sensual sheets. So I thought this was a brilliant idea to set the mood, that you make actually a linen spray to spray on your sheets before, you know, getting intimate with your partner. It's just a way, it's an extra step to kind of create that intimacy and that romance and create supporting your body to be and set the mood. I think it's really important to have sort of rituals like that to help increase connectivity with your partner. I don't know about you, Carol, but that's the way I roll.
Absolutely. It's funny that oils kind of have brought Mark and I to a place where we can be a little bit more open and chatty to each other about what we need as individuals and in the relationship. And the linen sprays have been huge for us. There's honestly, over the past year, I'm amazed at how often Mark's like, hey, where's that linen spray you made, you know, when V went over to my mom's for a sleepover? And I'm like, oh, well, that one's up in the corner.
But it's amazing too, because with smells, how much they connect to the emotional centers of our brain, known as the limbic system. That's
That's right.
where our emotions and our memories lie. So scent, and especially pure scent, so pure plant-based scent, has such an impact on our brains that
Mm-hmm.
we kind of connect to, like, if you have a specific spray that you use during those, sexy times, that will immediately bring up a memory of that. And it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like it will set the mood immediately for you.
Because it's in your memory, and it's connected to good memories and good feelings. So it's like, yeah, let's put that spray on the bed. It feels nice.
Plus, your bed will smell nice.
Yeah.
Added
I
bonus,
got a double, always got a double whammy with these oils.
right? Okay, some great massage blends. So I provided two here and how to mix them together. Again, one's kind of like less floral and one's more floral, of course. But this is just a way to connect with your partner, set the mood, and use libido enhancing oils, because why not? I love getting massages. I don't know about you guys, but it's a super thing that is really important to me. I carry so much stress in my body from work that when I get a massage, it's like one of the best gifts that I can receive.
And it just helps with connectivity again, right? You feel connected when you're helping your partner release that energy. Your hands are the responsive, tool to help with that. And it brings you both close together. It's important.
Agreed. Okay, the reflex zone.
Mm.
So I don't know if you guys know about reflexology, but I'm just going to touch on what it is, because you're like, I don't know, I've never heard of this thing ever before. So it's an old school method, very traditional. It helps specific reflex zones on your body that correspond to different organ systems. So basically, on the palm of your hand or your feet, like let's say if you don't have time to look up your reflex zone, just put it all over the bottoms of your feet and massage it in. So it's a very simple technique that you can do at home. You don't need a professional to do it. And the specific reflex zones for desire and libido, the big toe, which I learned, it helps release stimulating of sexual hormones. So that's important. So rubbing these oils on your big toe and the ankles. I just recently learned this as well. And I've been putting my Clary Calm outside and inside of my ankles, because that's specific to your sexual organs. So I can never remember what's the inside of my ankle, what's the outside of my ankle. So I just do both. One's your uterus, one's your ovaries. And guess what? For men, it's the same. One
Mm-hmm.
is the penis and one is the testes. So just put it around the ankles. Don't make it complicated.
And it's important too to actually massage it in. So even if you start with a little bit of carrier oil first to kind of get the blood flow going, and then put your oil on, massage it in. But if you just put the oil on and kind of rub it in, you're not going to stimulate blood flow to that area, which is going to sort of slow the pickup of these oils to get them into your bloodstream and get them working. So make sure that you massage it in to stimulate blood flow. Plus, again, as we were talking with massage, it's just nice. It feels relaxing, and you're going to get some wonderful benefit from it after as well.
Agreed. And that's a super valid point about circulation, especially in
Mm-hmm.
your feet and your extremities. Like that's kind of where circulation kind of goes, wah, wah. So massaging those warming oils in will create circulation in your body as well. And as we all know, being women and men, we need proper circulation and warmth in our bodies to be able to actively be intimate with our partners.
Mm-hmm.
Bubble bath. Who doesn't like bubble baths? Even just like if you're having intimate time with yourself, with your partner, or just to de-stress and relax. So this is a great recipe that you can make your own bubble bath, because a lot of bubble baths on the market are full of synthetic fragrances, not so savory ingredients, stuff that's really hormone disrupting to our bodies, which is what we're trying to balance out anyways. So I find it so funny that on the market, when you buy certain things, it's actually doing the opposite of what our body needs. So this is a great recipe to use, and you can keep it on hand so you can make your own bubble bath. And valid point, Chandler, from Friends, if you remember this episode, It's so hard to care when you're this relaxed. Oh,
So valid.
right? So we're going to talk about lubrication. I know it's a bit of a risque topic, but we're going to go there. So who was it that said to me, maybe it was you, Carol, we're going to talk about lubrication because you either do it or you want to have it in your house.
That's
so
right. You either have it or you definitely think, I should probably get some of that.
But a lot of over-the-counter lubes, and it took me a long time to find a really natural brand that actually didn't create disruption in my body.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of over-the-counter lubes have ingredients that can actually decrease fertility, feed yeast, not good for our beautiful vaginal flora, and of course destroy a lot of the beautiful balance that's going on in there. They can cause hormone disruption. I mean, that's totally counterintuitive of what we're trying to do. We want to balance our hormones so we can be more intimate and increase our libido and have connections with our partners or ourselves, and can cause cell damage. That's a lot of yucky things all in one sentence.
And they can be super drying and really, like you said, have the counter effect that we're looking for. You know, sure, it feels nice at that moment, and then an hour later you're like, good God, what happened? This is awful.
Yeah, there's so much like fragrance and gross ingredients, and again, most of them don't taste good.
No.
To be honest, they're gross. So coconut oil, I don't know if you guys have tried coconut oil, but it's amazing all over our bodies, including for natural lubrication. So as we know, and this is the hard coconut oil, not the fractionated coconut oil to make your roller balls. It is the hard stuff, the organic stuff from the grocery store. So it's
Hi to Lacey.
Pardon?
Sorry. Hi to Lacey.
It combats yeast, right? It helps balance our vaginal flora. It's antifungal, so in case there's any issues going down there, it can actually help with that. It tastes great. It's good for you. All those amazing, beautiful fats that our body needs, but you can't use it with latex condoms. It will break down the latex condom, so if you're doing it, don't use coconut oil. Okay, guys? Mm-hmm. All right.
And at least if you decide to, don't come to us when you say, oh my gosh, I got pregnant. What happened?
Yeah. Not my fault. I put the warning out there. So I found this amazing recipe. I haven't personally tried it yet, but I'm planning to because A, it's super simple, B, it's cost effective, and C, it's 100% natural. So why not? Mm-hmm. So the recipe that I found contained whisper and peppermint, but I was like, I don't like the fact that peppermint is very cooling. Mm-hmm. And I know my body needs to be properly warmed, and I know a lot of people's bodies need to be warmed. If cooling's your thing, go for it. The recipe was 4 drops whisper, 4 drops peppermint. But basically, you just whip it up. Again, the hard coconut oil, organic. Be very specific with organic for this recipe because it's going into your body. Mm-hmm. And if you're not a fan of whisper, make your own blend. So you can sub in wild orange and ylang-ylang. Do what fits best for you. And then, of course, if your house is really warm or it's the summertime, store in your fridge, which I'm sure will be refreshing in the summertime as well.
Freddie might be coming.
Who?
Freddie, he just texted me some.
Oh, let me just mute you. I can't. Unmute.
Is that when he works in the
There we go.
I have had a friend, on a total side note, just talking about peppermint. I have had a friend who said she absolutely adores, because she's a cold kind of girl, mm-hmm. what she likes, because she runs very hot. So she absolutely loves, and they found out by accident that when her husband uses peppermint before they're intimate so that he doesn't stink like whatever he ate 2 minutes ago, mm-hmm. she likes that a lot. So I was like, well, that's very interesting. Nice to know.
Added bonus, I've also learned other things the hard way as well, like On Guard.
Not so nice.
But hey, we're staying healthy, right? So
right. Staying healthy while we do it. It's great.
Peppermint's a great mouth freshener, and yeah, you can use it. If you can, any oils that you can use internally, guess what? It can kind of be used elsewhere. But if you're using the hot oils like cinnamon, make sure you heavily dilute them because they are warming.
Burning at times, very warming.
Yes. So I wanted to add something else in here. This is totally like kid friendly since we've been talking a lot about relationships with our partner and intimate time with our partner, that a lot of us have kids. I don't specifically have kids, but this is something everyone can enjoy. And I don't know about you, but I love chocolate. So, super easy. You use with any kind of melting down chocolate recipe. I have an amazing vegan recipe that just takes 3 ingredients. It is, if you want it, just message me. But it's basically organic coconut oil, pure cacao powder, and a little bit of maple syrup. And then you just melt it down and you add some drops and it's amazing. You just stick it in the fridge or freezer and it freezes. It's amazing.
Yummy.
Super simple. But add some awesome oils to your chocolate dipped recipe. So if you want to make chocolate dipped pretzels or strawberries, add some peppermint or add some wild orange, or of course like ylang ylang if you want to set the mood. And of course, wild orange and chocolate. Yum.
Cinnamon and wild orange and chocolate. Ooh.
Right. And that's about it, you guys. So we're so thankful that you guys hopped on with us and got to learn with us, and happy Valentine's Day to you all. I'm going to stop the webinar and then we're going to answer any questions that you have. And how do I do this?